The Texas Parks and Wildlife television series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchases of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $50 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year. Additional support provided by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Coming up on Texas Parks and Wildlife.
That's the hardest part of the tower construction there, just being on top of the ladder with that big old section up there.
They're one of the most ancient fishes and species that we have on the planet, and they're super cool.
You want to make sure you have 3 points of contact while you're climbing on a ladder or into a stand.
Texas Parks and Wildlife, a television series for all outdoors.
In the growing city of Lakeway, intermixed within these houses, there's a preserve of sorts called Katura Canyon.
Just watch your footing.
We can see the swifts a little bit, but it's a little closed in here. We'll get to see some good swift activity at the house tonight.
And here, there's a patio party about to get underway.
We work hard all week, and then when we have folks out like this is what we do for fun. So appreciate you coming out.
This is Paul.
There's a mated pair.
And Georgian's place.
They'll crisscross.
And these folks are here to see some chimney swifts.
Their numbers are declining dramatically. They're down by probably 50–60% since the 60s here in the United States. and Canada, they're on the threatened and endangered list. They've lost 90% of their chimney swift population.
This is now our standard chimney swift structure.
For these two, the birds are more than a fleeting hobby. They've been their life's passion.
Swifts need all the help they can get.
They do.
They're swift saviors.
They're very unique, very beneficial, and they're in very serious decline, mainly because of loss of habitat.
It was back in the 80s when these two met their first chimney swifts.
We pretty much have dedicated our lives to the little black birds that stole our heart. We had no idea what a chimney swift was until we were presented one in a rehabilitation situation.
He's 2 days of age, and a lady found him crawling across her carpet.
We had incubators and interim housing and then flight conditioning cages and whatnot. And we took care of over 1,200 baby chimney swifts over the 19 years that we did wildlife rehabilitation. There's something in your heart that makes you want to help one when you see it injured or when you get a call from someone who has an injured bird. And I suppose the big payoff is when you take a bird, take it outside, and open up your hands, it flies off. It's like magic.
Chimney swifts are quite unique. Unable to perch or stand upright, they rely on a certain type of habitat that's disappearing rapidly.
Historically, they roosted in large hollow trees, and those are not allowed to stand anymore. They then moved into brick chimneys, but now most of those are aging, and many are being capped or torn down. So we went on a journey attempting to create habitat for these birds.
The habitat? Their own take on a swift-friendly chimney.
So what we do is we cut these 2x2 inch treated wood cleats. Then we've got a nice, almost 2 inch wide piece that we can attach the top or the bottom to. You want to make sure that you really line it up. Taking the time to design one that was relatively easy to build in kind of a kit form has worked out very well.
And these two seem to work well together too.
We've been married for 49 years, believe it or not.
Yeah, we're a good team. Georgian really knows where to step in when I need an extra hand. Last one. It just fits together like a tongue and groove. Coming down, Great. The perfect home for chimney swifts. Nice rough surface, little grooves for them to hold on to attach their nest. Yeah, basically anybody that can use a few power tools and read a tape measure can build one of these chimney swift towers, and just one structure can make a real big difference in the breeding success of the birds.
I think all 3 of these have nestlings in them.
I think so too.
These two have been working on swift towers for quite some time.
Yes, every year we've learned something new.
We figured if we could come up with something that homeowners could build, then we could increase the habitat. And so we tried one thing, then another, different materials.
And this is their final design.
The outside is a hardy plank that's smooth, so no predators can climb it. The vent up there allows air to circulate through the outside of the tower, keeping it even cooler. There's babies in there. We are so happy we were able to come up with a structure that actually benefits the species and that other people are really jumping on the bandwagon to help the birds.
Okay, we need to dig a little more out of this corner.
Square this up a little bit. That might be okay, Andy.
Landowner and conservationist Andy Sansom
Can you stand her up?
is all in on chimney swift towers.
We're a good team.
We just keep building towers so we can get them out here.
This will be the 3rd on his property.
With each of the projects, we have become more and more involved in the actual construction.
This little wire twister cuts a lot of time out. Crank it like that.
Oh.
There you go. That's it. That's the idea.
I feel privileged that they've increasingly trusted me enough to let me participate in the project itself. Come on, man. There we go. I learned a new skill today, or at least half learned.
Yeah, lots more water. I think that's going to do it.
Yeah.
They're halfway home, humans helping out their feathered friends. It's worked before.
People can actually be credited with the recovery and the return of bluebirds. It's not unreasonable to think that if enough chimney swift towers are built, that the chimney swift towers themselves could be just like the bluebird houses or the purple martin gourds that people put up. Just a real full court press in conservation on behalf of this particular species.
Okay.
That's the hardest part of the tower's construction there, just being on top of the ladder with that big old section up there.
Paul and I have built so many towers together, we very seldom even speak while we're constructing. Kind of a dance.
That's it. We're in. I'm always so glad when that's over. But now it's a piece of cake. Everything's pre-cut, ready to put up. From this point forward, it'll go pretty quick. I'll keep going up with the insulation on top of where Georgian's been.
It helps. It's to keep it cooler.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks good.
Great. We kind of lost track of how many of these we've done. We've done so many. It's over 100 and probably close to 200.
I don't know that you could identify any individuals who have done so much for an individual species than Paul and Georgean. And I'm talking about across the board in wildlife conservation. So it was really special.
That's it. Done.
We're already beginning to think about where we're going to put the next one.
Back at Katura Canyon,
They're circling around and faking us out.
the patio party is in full swing.
So when we have folks come out in the evenings to watch the swifts go into the towers, oh, it's so exciting.
Oh, here we go.
It's a mated pair. I think they're feeding.
The food they eat is insects, mosquitoes, gnats, flies, all the things that we swat at and don't want to have around. That's a delicacy to them. That's what they survive on.
Very cool. Here we go. Oh! There it is.
It's hard to get someone interested in something that's so ephemeral and in the sky all day
Oh, beautiful.
until they actually see them.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
So education is the key.
I really didn't know much about chimney swifts before tonight. We have purple martins in our front yard, but I wasn't really aware that chimney swifts are very similar in that way. So see if maybe we can get a chimney out in our backyard too.
This is another design.
So, for these swift saviors, mission accomplished.
We love the birds so much, we want everybody else to care about them the way we do, so that we can have them protected. The more people we can care about them, the better off they're going to be, and the better their chances are in the future.
sure.
Alongside a bayou is an unusual place for a surgical procedure.
Okay, so I'm gonna make an incision.
Unless it's for a pretty unusual patient. That patient is a kind of fish more than 300 million years old, a paddlefish.
Go ahead and give him some anesthetic.
The surgeon is Mike Montagne with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and this operation is about bringing these fish back to these waters.
They're one of the most ancient fishes and species that we have on the planet. They don't look like any other fish, and they're super cool.
Paddlefish are living fossils, a fish species older than dinosaurs. While they may be the oldest surviving animal species in North America, they need some help surviving mankind. Historic harvest for meat and caviar has pressured populations, but the greatest threat to paddlefish has been how humans have altered their habitat.
Paddlefish were originally in the Big Cypress system. Once Lake of the Pines was put in the late 50s and the dam at Lake of the Pines really changed the river's natural flow due to the changes in the water flow, loss of flood pulses throughout the year to cue spawning events, loss of suitable spawning habitat over the years, populations declined. So we get to that point where paddlefish just don't exist here anymore.
Downstream, the loss of seasonal flows impacted not only a threatened fish, but an entire ecosystem.
After the dam, flows of water almost ceased, and we didn't have those natural variations. We realized that a main problem for Caddo Lake was the quantity of water. So Caddo Lake Institute worked together with the Corps of Engineers and with Parks and Wildlife and many other partners over the years to try and recreate what natural flows would look like. The paddlefish were the perfect poster child to explain and test out our theory that more natural flows would help the forest as well as all these fish and other animals, help restore the habitat.
Got it.
We've been reintroducing paddlefish since about 2014.
Healthy fish.
We started off with about 50 fish that we radio tagged and put inside the Big Cypress and Caddo Lake. And we followed those around for about a year while their battery and the tags worked. One of the things we really wanted to find out is if the fish would stay in the system or whether they'd go over the dam at the downstream end of Caddo Lake.
Well, after that year, the paddlefish stayed in the system. So we've moved on over the last few years, continuing to stock paddlefish. We're stocking fish over the next 10 years to try and build the numbers of paddlefish in the Big Cypress Caddo Lake system. Now that we're 4 years down the road and we've seen fish survive and grow to some larger sizes, the next big question is just, will they spawn, reproduce, and help their own numbers grow?
To answer that question, a crew must recapture some older fish to implant new transmitters.
Today, we're going to be electrofishing right below the spillway of Lake of the Pines Dam because that's where they like to congregate.
They are attracted to flow to go upstream. They can't go any further, so we can actually find quite a few of them here. To capture these paddlefish, we're going to use our electrofishing equipment. The fish get stunned by the electricity, and we're able to net them onto the boat. Come on.
It's like a grab bag. You really never know what you're going to get, so it's Christmas every time a fish pops up.
The fish are not harmed, but not stunned for long, so crews must stay alert.
They come up from this murky bottom, so you could see nothing for a solid minute, and then all of a sudden, just this wave and rush of fish species come up. Largemouth, dolphin!
Big flathead.
Whoa! Nope, nope. Paddlefish. We want paddlefish. Come on, fish. Things go wrong every once in a while, and so it's great to have that other person to just reach over. You're coming back in the boat, buddy.
It's slippery on the boat sometimes.
We have not lost anybody today. We're gonna keep it that way.
Oh. Give me another shot, I'll get you, I swear. Oh!
Yeah!
Woo! Beautiful fish, beautiful fish. And I'm glad that we're taking part in the restoration program to bring them back. It's really cool.
Whew.
When the crew that's electrofishing catches the fish, they'll bring them up to the surgical unit that we're going to have set up. We're going to cut them open, implant a sonic tag inside of their abdomen, and sew them back up, and then release them back into the river. This is MS-222. It's an anesthetic for fish. It should knock them out in about 30 seconds or so. These new tags can last anywhere from 7 to 10 years. So we're going to start getting some really good information on some much older fish. It's 47 inches. Probably got stocked in about 2016. Take the tag and placing it inside the body cavity of the fish. Now we're just going to sew them up. The paddlefish doesn't start reproducing until they're 6 to 10 years old, but we're just now starting to be able to test that. Let's put them in the recovery bin. We'll release them back out into the river. Surgery went well, about as fast as I can do it. So these are just sutures that will eventually just dissolve. We'll be able to really track what they're hopefully using for spawning areas, and we're going to start looking for eggs. We're going to start looking for little larval fish. So if they're in there, we're going to know for sure. So I'll trade with you guys. You got one? Let's trade, and you can take them farther away and release them.
It's been really satisfying to stock small fish that haven't been here for probably years and find paddlefish that have grown to over 3 feet in length. Because the ultimate goal is to get enough paddlefish in the system with the right environmental conditions where they're going to be able to spawn and be a self-sustaining population.
Woo! I am optimistic about the chances for the paddlefish. The paddlefish is so charismatic that actually more and more people want to get involved with it.
I mean, here's this prehistoric creature that's right in our backyards.
I love these fish. These fish are fantastic. They haven't evolved much from the time of the dinosaurs, and they still exist. And they're just cool. They're just absolutely fascinating.
It's brought a lot of groups together.
We're grateful that so many different layers, federal, state, and local, have come together to make this possible.
Some might ask if one old fish off limits to Texas anglers could be worth all of this effort.
Oh my God.
But restoring this fish only happens by restoring a more natural ecosystem.
The work that we're doing for paddlefish doesn't just benefit the paddlefish. It benefits the river ecology and probably more than 30 different species of fish that live in the river.
It's still early, but the optimism is there. They are an excellent indicator of what's going on here. If we're able to keep a population in here because we've changed the flows to a more natural state, we're taking a huge step in how we manage reservoirs and our flows coming out of those reservoirs for our natural resources. All good. Exactly what we want to see. Fade to black.
This project was funded in part by a grant from the Sport Fish Restoration Program.
Hi, I'm Steve Hall, Hunter Education Coordinator with Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. And today we're going to cover tree stand safety tips. Prior to using a tree stand, you want to make sure that all the equipment's in good working order. Number 1, are the bolts and nuts tight? 2, are the lines in good shape? And 3, are the straps weathered, or are they in good shape? Did you know that the number 1 cause of hunting injury and fatality in North America is falls from tree stands? And there's 3 simple rules to prevent those falls. 1, use a good climbing system. 2, a harness while you're in the stand. And 3, a haul line to haul up your equipment and lower it back down to the ground. Now when you're climbing a tree stand, that's when the most accidents occur. You want to make sure you have 3 points of contact while you're climbing on a ladder or into a stand. And you also want to step down onto the platform of that stand before you strap yourself in terms of the tree and the harness. Now when our bow hunter is in the stand, he wants to make sure that the tether to the tree is nice and taut. If he does happen to fall off the platform, this will keep his legs near the platform so he can simply step right back on. Today's harnesses are designed with comfort in mind. These vest-style harnesses still maintain the 4 points of contact with the shoulders and the thighs, but they're easy to put on and take off. Now we want you to have fun outdoors, but we want you to be safe. And if you follow these tree stand safety tips, you'll enjoy many hunting seasons to come.
Here at Eisenhower State Park, there's 6.5 million potential visitors living down the road in Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And the kids down there could stay there and be concrete jungle kids. But what we try to do is do something to intrigue them, to tease them, and to do something to bring them up to the North Woods up here at Eisenhower State Park.
The boys just love to be out on the water playing around, so we can sneak in some good outdoor skills, some scouting basics, and have a lot of fun out on the lake too.
That tastes delectable.
I think a lot of the life lessons are learned around a campfire. When you get away for a little bit of time and you're in a tent, it's getting them away from where mom or dad are taking care of them, and they get to make some decisions for themselves.
We've got a wonderful swimming hole out here. The geology of the area is set up just right in between two bluffs. It's a nice sandy bottom, smooth, goes all the way out. Having a big marina in the middle of a state park is very unique. If you have a problem with a boat or a problem with something, they have certified mechanics down there that can work on that. They've got ice right there at the dock. They sell bait. The services that they provide down there, campers need on a daily basis.
Look at that cardinal. Isn't it pretty?
We've got natural forest out here. You can come out and you can hike the whole trail, or you can bike the whole trail. We've got some prairie restoration areas up here, some remnants of the tallgrass prairie. Eisenhower State Park has a wealth of outdoor education programs, everything from a ranger-led hike to campfire programs. We try to structure programs around the needs of the visitors.
Beautiful. Beautiful cast, beautiful loops.
Today our event includes free casting lessons.
There.
Because Eisenhower State Park is a wonderful place to go fishing. Lake Texoma is a great place. And it's all about the wonderful fishing opportunities that are here at Lake Texoma.
There's a bunch of fish down there.
The person that comes out here and doesn't catch a fish is the one that just needs to come up and talk to myself or one of my staff. We'll turn them on to where to go catch a fish, many times showing them exactly what we've been catching them on. We've got over 5 miles of shoreline and a wealth of knowledge to share with you where to go fish, swim, put your boat in, go out on the lake and enjoy. We're in our third generation of campers and park visitors here at Eisenhower State Park.
Whoa,
The neat thing about it is we are the closest campground, closest marina to a major highway. These people can leave busy lives behind down in Dallas and be up camping or be up at the marina in 55 minutes.
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchases of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $50 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year. Additional support provided by Ram Trucks, built to serve.